Every young English boy who kicks a ball in his backyard has a lifelong dream to put on the shirt of the national team, which is one of the most respected in the world of football. So if you wonder why someone would reject the opportunity to play for the Three Lions, think no more. We have the answer. Number 1. Jamal Musiala. Jamal is one of the most talented, respected, and valued youngsters in the world of football today. Currently, he's playing for Bayern Munich, and even though he's only 19 years old, he's become an irreplaceable part of the first team. What's even more amazing is that he made his debut for the strongest Bundesliga team when he was just 17. Unbelievable. You must be thinking, oh my God, where was I at that age? Deciding to play for Bayern Munich was probably an easy choice, but what was tricky was deciding which national team to play for. There were lots, and we mean lots of options. Nigeria, England, Germany, and Poland. What made Musiala's decision even harder was the fact that he played for England's under 15, under 16, under 17, and under 21, and Germany's under 16. Eventually, on February 24, 2021, Musiala chose to play for Germany. And the reason was pretty simple, as Jamal said. I just listened to the feeling that over a long period of time kept telling me that it was the right decision to play for Germany, the land I was born in. Number 2. Ryan Giggs. Another Welsh star whose national career could have developed differently. As a young boy, Giggs went to school in Salford, where he showed his passion for football and where he represented England, but only at school level. When asked why he chose Wales over England, was that ever a doubt for him? Giggs said, "I'd rather go through my career without qualifying for a major championship than play for a country where I wasn't born or which my parents didn't have anything to do with." Number 3. Giovanni Reyna. Again, someone whose dad was a professional football player and who had a big influence on his career. Reyna's father played for Sunderland back in 2002, and that is exactly where Reyna was born. Maybe Reyna thought of representing England at some point, but when he saw his dad playing for their motherland at the World Cup, it became clear to the young boy that, for him, playing for America was the only option. He had learned that passion for football is everything, and that's what he got from playing for the national team of the United States of America. Number 4. Erling Haaland. Well, you didn't see that name coming as the next one on our list, did you? Haaland is definitely the most lethal striker in today's football world. His father, Alfie, played for several Premier League teams back in the 90s. While playing for Leeds, he got his son, Erling. In fact, Haaland was born in Leeds, which gave him the option to choose between England and Norway. Even though many people would say that he should have chosen to play for the Three Lions, Haaland himself never had any doubts. Norwegian 100%. 10 on 10. Number 5. Gareth Bale. The Welsh legend, born in Cardiff, has been a symbol of the national team for the past decade. Could you imagine seeing Bale playing for some other national team? Neither can we. But at one point in his career, that was an option. Bale's agent, Jonathan Barnett, came to Bale with the idea of playing for England instead of Wales. Bale's reaction was, well, unexpected for some, but for others, the only thing that made sense. He told his agent that Wales is the only option for him. Wales, Wales, and only Wales. Okay, and sometimes golf. But the point is that Gareth got very angry at his agent and even threatened to fire him if he ever brought that up again. Number 6. Wilfried Zaha. Zaha was born in the Ivory Coast, but at the age of 4, he moved to England with his parents. That is where his football journey began. He was part of the Crystal Palace youth team for 6 years, and that is where he plays today. In fact, he's becoming a legend there. Playing for the national team gave him 2 options, England and the Ivory Coast. Even though today he is playing for the Ivory Coast and has represented his homeland at several major tournaments, he has had second thoughts when it came to picking his national team. Zaha played for England's under 19 and under 21 teams, as well as making 2 appearances for the senior team of England. At some point, Wilfried decided that he had to play for Ivory Coast, and his wish was granted. Number 7. Wes Morgan. He was a crucial part of Leicester's fairy tale in 2016 when they, against all odds, won the Premier League. Wes Morgan was born in Nottingham in 1984, but his roots are in Jamaica. That is one reason why he played for the national team of Jamaica. The other reason was that the other country for which he was eligible to play, England, never called him. Well, you can't blame them, with the options they had at the time, like John Terry or Rio Ferdinand. There simply wasn't any space for Wes to appear. There was no way Morgan was even going to be called up first. However, after his impressive performance that led the Foxes to their biggest success in their history, things changed. Harry Redknapp, who was managing England's national team at the time, couldn't hide his regret over not being able to predict what kind of player Wes Morgan would become. In one of the interviews, Harry said, "It's almost certainly too late for him to make it into England's Euro 2016 squad, but I do not think he would let anyone down if given the chance." Well, we will never know what might have happened if someone had given Wes Morgan the chance. Number 8. Victor Moses. Moses was born in Nigeria, where he had an extremely tough childhood. When he was only 11 years old, his parents were killed, which resulted in him moving to a foster family in England. As a talented youngster, he represented England at youth level, playing for the under 16, under 17, under 19, and under 21 squads, though he didn't play for Nigeria until he turned 21. He didn't have second thoughts, though, when the option appeared. Who wouldn't do the same in his place? The emotions pulling him back to his homeland were simply too strong. He wanted to honor his parents, and that is exactly what he did. He made his debut for Nigeria on January 25, 2013 against Zambia. Number 9. Scott McTominay. His parents are Scottish, but he was born in England, which immediately gave him the option to choose between these two national teams. There was only one problem. He had to deserve to be invited. In 2017, McTominay became a part of Manchester United's first team. The Red Devils coach at the time was Jose Mourinho. The special one had a huge influence on McTominay and gave him a little push when it came to deciding which national team to play for. Jose did the same with Scottish manager Alex McLeish when he told him to act quickly, because England is missing a player of Scott's caliber. Eventually, Mourinho's plan became reality. McTominay made his debut for Scotland and declared, "I wanted to play for Scotland, and I always have since I was a young boy, and it was an incredibly proud moment for me when the coach called me up." Number 10. Alex Iwobi. Again, we have a player born in Nigeria that had the option to play for England as well. The reason is pretty simple. He moved to England and grew up there, so he had a second choice when it came to selecting a country to play for. Iwobi represented England under 16, under 17, and under 18 squads. Logically, you would say he would represent the senior team of England, but you couldn't be more wrong. In 2015, Iwobi announced that he wanted to represent Nigeria from now on, and his wish was granted. According to Iwobi, the reason why he changed his mind was the following. "My family are all from Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria. My uncle JJ Okocha is a legend in Nigeria, so I made the decision to switch." All of these footballers followed their emotions, passion, and desire. And if you ask us, that is what football is all about. Wouldn't you agree? Tell us your thoughts on this subject by commenting on the video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back soon with some of the most amazing information from the world of football.